So it's the 18th of January and today we're finally getting the snow, a lovely white dusting, and the trees are absolutely loving it and the garden is looking beautiful as ever. And here's the Pisceus spruce bonsai that I worked on recently if you want to go check that out. But today is a random tree that we're working on, and it's none other than the Lawsons Cypress. And when I first got it, or should I say my older son got it a few years ago, it was no bigger than the size of my hand and covered in glitter spray. And here we are, we've got these multiple trunks to work with. But first, what we need to do is remove all the lower branching, just to give a clearer image of what we're working on. And it's quite a simple method really is. It's just to remove all the lower ones and to make sure you don't go too high up, because it kind of defeats the purpose. And there is a fair bit to take off, so this video, a lot of it is going to be sped up, but I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see it all in great detail. And here we have some first candidates for deadwood features that will appear as trunks that could have been, but has died back from natural causes, ironically. And just like most conifer trees, if light doesn't get into the interior, you get left with loads of dead needles, and they've got to be removed, and we're almost getting there. And when cutting back on these branches, make sure you're actually cutting back to new growth that are turning into branches and not just foliage, as these trees do not bud back on the branches. And a quick spin around to see what we can work with. Sometimes brushing down the branches can give a clearer path to take, and I think we're all set. So the first wire that we're going to be putting on is going to be for the two trunks that we're going to want to have a little bit of movement in. I'm using 3 to 4 mil thick wire. I'm not entirely sure of what movement we're going to be putting them into yet, but it's just nice to have strong wire to be able to do it if needed. And make sure not to trap any branches or foliage within the wire. Here, for extra support, you want to push that wire deep into the soil along the trunk line and work your way up. But remember to take your time and protect the branches. And that's those wires on, which actually leads us to this side trunk here, and I'm thinking of making it a whole entire gin here, and it gives us a clearer image on what to work on. But there is a little bit more to come off the bottom, and then we can start wiring the branches. So these branches started to harden off this year after a terrific growth, and we're just going to be taking our time doing it as they are still very fragile. And I bet you've never seen anyone wire with one hand before. But what I'm actually doing is holding the wire with my other hand as an anchor before attaching that one also. It's always best to test the flexibility. And here we go, now we've just got the rest of the tree to do. And we're going to speed it up again. Now there is a lot of branches to come down. Each trunk is also going to be shortened later, just to make the job a little bit easier, and also to make it less like a juvenile tree. And if you're wondering on the wire size, it's a 1 to 2 mil wire, nice flexible wire, That's easy to get around these soft, delicate branches. So as we're working our way to the top, we're just going to snip back the foliage here, and later on we will be dealing with the deadwood feature at the top, and it's going to be the same for the other two main trunks. And as you can see on one side, it's starting to come together, but we've still got two trunks to wire up. So while we're doing this wiring, I thought I might just add that in the past, this was never a tree that I intended to become a bonsai. I just wanted it to grow to be a garden plant. But it's one of the trees that I've grown to love, and the more I watched it grow, the more tempted I got to work on. And even though it's in a bonsai pot now, come spring, it may go into a deep pond basket to allow the roots to grow and for it to push that maximum strength and growth rate. And a quick spin around, and now all the wire is on. It gives us a little chance to have a play about with the positioning, and we're trying to create a natural flow in the branches to make it look weathered, as if it's growing against the weather and it's been forced into a direction. Now I'm not going to go for a windswept, but it needs to look like it's been fighting against the elements. So the branch placement is almost there, but we'll tweak it a bit more later. But for now, we're going to start work on the deadwood features, and we're going to be using the gym pliers just to gently crush the bark, which will make it easier to peel off. Just using our fingertips. Now we don't want to be peeling it all the way down to the lower branch, but we do need to make it look like it's weathered away. And I have always found a diagonal cut with the scissors just to get it started, and we can just start peeling away the bark just a little bit deeper. So that's that one done for now, and we're now going to work on the other one. And it's just the same process, and this one's actually come away a lot more easier. And now the third one. And now using a finer pliers, it's just getting a grip on the end of it and rolling it downwards. And it really does give off that weathered effect, which will improve in time. And it's the same for all three. And I believe that's the top done on the deadwood, but we've also got to work on the bottom ones, especially this big chunky one. Let's get to it. Now we've got the top ones that is looking like it's been weathered by natural weather, but at the bottom ones we kind of want them looking like they've been gnawed at by deer or rubbed up against with antlers. It's just to give more of a story, and that's why I'm literally pinching away the bark on here and just pulling it off, and it gives that natural effect of like it's been gnawed at by a wild animal, which will improve in time. So now we are going to the final tweaks of the branch placement, and there really isn't that much more to do. There was a little bit of wire that I forgot to wrap around fully. It's a habit I sometimes do. So here we are, finished for now. Now the tree's looking a little bare, but it will fill out over the next season or two. But I actually really started to like this tree. But anyway, if you like this video, please comment, like and subscribe. If not, no worries, and I'll catch you in the next one.